Capital One has 30 different credit cards, so today we're going to make the ultimate tier list of every Capital One credit card to help you figure out which one is best for you. Starting with one of the most popular credit cards, the Quicksilver Rewards card. Now, as is the case with most of Capital One's credit cards, there are several different versions of this product, so to help us stay on track today, we'll be putting each of these 30 cards into one of 6 different categories, the first of which being the Quicksilver category. First, you've got the standard Quicksilver card, which has a $0 annual fee and offers you 1.5% cash back on all of your purchases with an intro offer of 3% unlimited cash back for your entire first year. It's the best of the 5 Quicksilver cards that Capital One has, but 1.5% back is not that great compared to other products on the market. So the standard Quicksilver card goes in the B tier. Similarly, you have the Quicksilver One card, which gives you the same 1.5% back on all of your purchases, but has a $39 annual fee and a slightly higher interest rate since this product requires what Capital One calls fair credit, while the previous product requires excellent credit. Again, not much to love here, so the Quicksilver One card goes in the C tier. Speaking of getting this card without a great credit score, they also offer the Quicksilver Rewards for good credit, which again gives you 1.5% cash back for a $0 annual fee. But in this case, you aren't eligible for the 0% intro APR, which shouldn't matter if you're using this card properly, but once again, I'll also put this one in the B tier. If you're starting from ground zero and have little to no credit history, then they also have the Quicksilver Secured card, which requires an upfront security deposit of at least $200 for the same 1.5% cash back and no annual fee. But I'm not a fan of secured credit cards personally, so this one goes in the D tier. And lastly, in the Quicksilver category, we have the Quicksilver Rewards for students, which, you guessed it, gives you 1.5% cash back, no annual fee, plus a $50 cash bonus after you spend just $100. And while this is specifically for college students, assuming you meet the criteria, it's honestly one of the better options in this category, so let's put it in the B tier. Okay, nothing too exciting so far, but don't worry, the products are going to get progressively better throughout this video, and we'll work our way up to my favorite Capital One credit card that I carry with me every single day. Also, as you can probably tell at this point, we've got to move really fast through this video since we have so many products to cover. But I have reviewed many of these products before, and I'll leave some helpful links down below the like button where you can learn more if you want to. The next category we are calling William-Sonoma, which consists of 4 cards that are all identical. All 4 of these give you 5% cash back on several William-Sonoma brands, 4% at grocery stores and restaurants, and 1% on everything else. And you also get 10% back across 7 different William-Sonoma brands for your first 30 days. And all of this has no annual fee. The only difference between the 4 different products is the brand that is printed on your card. But otherwise, they are identical. And while the William-Sonoma rewards are pretty specific, and I'm not a fan of that, 4% back on grocery stores and restaurants is surprisingly awesome for a no annual fee credit card, so I'll be putting all 4 of these products in the A tier. The next 6 cards fall under the Spark category, which is technically the business lineup from Capital One, which I usually don't include on these lists, but the Spark cards are some of my favorite products from Capital One, and again, all 6 of them have slightly different benefits, so I felt like it was worth including. Before we talk about that product though, which is one of my favorites, you may be wondering how I keep track of all of these cards since I have many of them and others myself. And that's where today's video sponsor, Aura, helps me. I've talked about Aura a few times before and have used it myself for a long time, and I think it really can help a lot of you keep track of and protect your financial information, which unfortunately does occasionally get stolen. But usually it's not until you can't log into your account or discover fraudulent charges on your card that the panic and fear start to set in. And at that point, you're going to wish that you had Aura. Aura is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software, all combined into one easy-to-use app right on your smartphone. It's going to monitor the dark web for emails, passwords, social security numbers, and send fast fraud alerts to your phone and email so that you know what is happening with your information online. Signing up and linking your accounts is super easy, and I can say, as someone who has an insane amount of financial accounts, Aura really does give me immense peace of mind. Plus, I'm even able to set up transaction limits, so if any transaction is over the limit that I set, I immediately get a notification, which is also a great way to keep my spending in check. So regardless of what credit cards or other financial accounts you have, don't wait until it is too late. Check out today's sponsor at aura.com/magnified to get a 14-day free trial and protect your financial accounts from fraud today. First is the Spark 1% Classic, which has no annual fee and gives you a basic 1% unlimited cash back on all of your purchases, as well as 5% back on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel. This card sucks and is meant for people with fair credit or worse, so unless you fall into that category, I'd avoid it at all costs, and I'll be putting it in the D tier. The slightly better Spark 1.5% Cash Select card, again, has no annual fee, gives you 1.5% unlimited rewards, and the same 5% on hotels and rental cars. But it requires good credits, according to Capital One. Still not great, but slightly better, so I'll be putting this one in the C tier. The Spark 1.5% Cash Select card is identical to the previous product. The only difference is it requires excellent credit and gives you a $500 cash bonus if you spend $4,500 in the first 3 months, but 1.5% is still not going to cut it, so this one also goes in the C tier. The best product in this category is the Spark 2% Cash Plus card, which gives you 2% back on everything and the same 5% on hotels and rental cars, plus a $1,000 cash bonus if you meet the minimum spending requirements, a $200 annual cash bonus if you spend $200,000 or more each year, which again, I'll remind you that this is a business credit card. Plus, this is a charge card, meaning there's no APR because your full balance is due at the end of every single month with a charge card. And all of this comes to you for $150 per year, which if you're spending a lot of money on this card for your business, actually makes it a fantastic option that I'll be putting in the A tier. Lastly, in the Spark category, we have the Spark 1.5x Miles Select card and the Spark 2x Miles card, which both offer you Capital One miles in place of direct cash back. The 1.5x gives you a 20,000 mile bonus when you meet the spending requirements and has no annual fee, so I'll put this one in the C tier. And the Spark 2x Mile gives you a 50,000 point bonus, or mile bonus, again, those two words are interchangeable, once you meet that spending requirement, and gives you a $100 travel credit, again with no annual fee. There's a much better travel product that we're going to talk about later in today's video, but I do like the travel credit for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry, so I'll put this one in the B tier. We still have my two favorite categories yet to come, including some of my favorite Capital One credit cards, but first we have to talk about the miscellaneous category, starting with the Capital One Walmart Rewards card, which gives you 5% cash back at walmart.com with no annual fee. You also get 2% in Walmart stores and 1% on everything else, so assuming you shop at Walmart frequently, it's actually a decent product that we'll be putting in the B tier. Both the Platinum Secured Credit Card and the Platinum MasterCard are really meant to help you rebuild damaged credit, and each charge you no annual fee but have virtually no cashback rewards, with the only big difference being that one of them is a secured credit card while the other is not. But both of these are honestly garbage that belong in the D tier. Joining them in the D tier is the Journey Student Credit Card, which also has no annual fee but does give you 1% cash back, but there are way better products out there designed specifically for students in my opinion, including the Quicksilver Student Card that we talked about earlier in this video. So like I said, this one also belongs in the D tier. And lastly, in the miscellaneous category, we have 3 brand specific products, 2 of which from Bass Pro Shops and 1 from Cabela's. I won't bore you with going through every single individual benefit of these products, but if you do shop at these retail locations frequently, then it might be worth looking into. But personally, I am never a fan of any kind of brand-specific credit card. So once again, all three of these belong in the D tier. All right, those last few were absolutely brutal, and those products are trash, to be honest with you. But last but not least, we have my two favorite categories from Capital One, where we will finally assign some S tier products and talk about my favorite credit card, starting with the Savor category. There are 4 Savor cards currently available, with a similar setup to the Quicksilver Cards that we looked at earlier, with the original Savor card being the Savor Rewards, which gives you 4% unlimited cash back on dining, entertainment, and streaming services, plus 3% back at grocery stores and 1% on everything else. They're also offering a $300 cash bonus if you meet the minimum spending requirements, and all of that comes in at just $95 per year, which in my opinion is fairly easy to justify. So if you are a food fanatic like myself and you want to earn the maximum rewards possible in this category, then this one is a no-brainer, and for the first time today, I'll be putting the Savor Rewards card in the S tier. The Savor One Rewards and Savor One Rewards for Good Credit both give you unlimited 3% on dining, entertainment, streaming services, and grocery stores, plus 1% on everything else. And the only difference between these two products is that the standard Savor One card offers a low intro APR if you have excellent credit, while the regular Savor One Rewards for Good Credit does not give you that low intro APR. But they both have no annual fee, so if you don't love the $95 annual fee that the last product charges you, then these might be worth checking out. But in my opinion, that $95 is well worth it, so I'll be putting both of these in the B tier. Lastly, in the Savor category, we have the Savor One Rewards for students, which gives you the exact same 3% back on dining, entertainment, streaming services, and grocery stores, with 1% on everything else, and all of the other benefits of the last two products. But the student version gives you a $50 cash bonus when you spend your first $100. Again, specifically targeted towards students, but I'm not going to turn down $50 for free, so I'll be putting this one in the A tier. All right, and last but not least, we have the final category, which is the Venture Card category, which includes my favorite credit card from Capital One. But before we get to that, we have the original Venture Rewards card, which gives you unlimited 2x miles per dollar and a 75,000 mile bonus after you meet the minimum spending requirements, all for $95 per year. This does require excellent credit according to Capital One, but I love the Capital One travel portal. I've been able to redeem points for 3 to 5 cents per point, which is the equivalent of 6 to 10% cash back since you're earning 2 points per dollar, and that means I'll be putting this card in the S tier as well. They also offer the Venture One and Venture One for Good Credit, which both give you slightly lower rewards at 1.25 miles per dollar, but there is no annual fee, while again the last product has a $95 annual fee. So you'll have to decide if that annual fee is worth it in order to get a slightly higher spending multiplier, but as was the case with the previous category, the Venture One has a low intro APR, while the Venture One for Good Credit does not have that intro offer. So for me, the $95 for the standard Venture card is well worth it, but both of these are still decent nonetheless, and I'll be putting them in the A tier. All right, we have talked about 29 of the 30 credit cards that Capital One offers, but lastly, we have to talk about my favorite Capital One credit card that I carry with me every single day, and that would be the Capital One Venture X card. This is one of the newest products from Capital One and is obviously the premium version of the regular Venture card lineup. It does come in at $395 per year, which I know is way more expensive than any of the other products that we looked at today, but that's actually on the low end of premium travel cards, and for that annual fee, you get 10 miles per dollar at hotels and rental cars booked with Capital One, 5 miles on flights, and 2 miles on everything else, not to mention the airport lounge access, 75,000 mile sign-up bonus, 10,000 mile anniversary bonus, $300 annual travel credit, $100 global entry and TSA pre-check credit, and the list goes on. I have talked about this product at length, if you couldn't already tell, in a number of previous videos, and while you'll definitely have to do some napkin math to see if you can justify the annual fee, I absolutely love this product. I use it all the time, so it's no surprise that I'll be putting the Venture X card in the S tier. So definitely some standout winners and losers from Capital One, but this is just my opinion. So I'd love to know what you think of these products down in the comment section and what your favorite and least favorite cards are from Capital One. This also means that we have now completed the ultimate credit card ranking for Discover, Chase, American Express, Citi, and Capital One, so be sure to check out those other videos by clicking over here. I'll leave some helpful links down below the like button where you can learn more about these products, but as always, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.